I ranked 3 weeks ago. Okay. So I want to see, because I just found out about this Cenat thingy, like literally yesterday. He okay, let's. How long is this one? 8 minutes. Okay, we're gonna watch the 8-minute one. We're gonna. Let's see this.
Y'all about to see NYPD, bro. Look, police over there. Welcome to New York, bro. I'm telling you, it's a lot of y'all out there right now. Everybody who's out there, make sure y'all safe. Appreciate everybody who popped out for y'all, bro. We gonna make sure it's safe. Bro, we're not gonna do nothing until it's safe. Yeah, we gotta make sure it's safe. Everybody's good. But spotting us already. Hold on. Play this whole side if you could. So he can see. Yeah, look. Oh, they see already, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie, it feels so good to be here. Like, this hometown, like, it's home court advantage. We got home court advantage. Look at this. Look at them. They standing like a f***ing unity, bro. God, we gotta get right here. What? They think this is a civil rights right now? I bet. So we out. God damn. Turn me up, man. Oh, shit. Oh my God, it's Yo, make sure y'all protect Chris. He got the motherfucking camera. He got the mafia. Your book bag gone? Yeah. I can't have nobody bumping into my. All the A&P out here, man.
Oh, this is crazy.
Let me get off first.
Oh, where we going? Where the park? Where the park at? Right here. Oh,
that's crazy.
Okay, to the middle.
Y'all in front. Yo, I can't have nobody bumping into my book bag this time because we've seen it straight to free.
No. That's crazy.
Back up. You good.
They split up.
So I know he got charged for inciting a riot and all that stuff, but I feel like he should have more protection. And you fans, like, look what you fucking caused. Like, he probably will never do this again because y'all decided that y'all want to go crazy and do other stupid shit, right? When he was trying to be nice and show up for you guys, right? Because you guys say that these famous, streamers don't show up for you guys. He went and showed up for you guys, and you made his life he got stuff on his record because of y'all. But he should have been smarter. He should have, had more security, probably had a permit or anything like that because obviously, But I'm pretty sure he had all good intentions in it. But shit turned out this way.
Yo, I cannot go out there with the book bag.
Lower Manhattan, and you can see news helicopters are overhead. That's Union Square Park. The park has been swarmed and basically overrun by people. Look at the crowds of people there. In fact, subway lines, bus lanes, they're bypassing Union Square. It's a big subway station in Manhattan. Apparently what had happened here is a popular Twitch streamer was holding a video game giveaway. If you don't know what Twitch is, you're not alone. I barely know what it is. It's apparently a platform where you can watch other people play video games.
Which is a thing. A lot of,
Sounds
clearly.
incredibly boring, but obviously it's a thing. So this Cenat was going to do a giveaway. He announced it on his Instagram feed. And look at this. It's basically become a mob scene there. They're on top of cars. Yeah, this is Union Square.
Well, Sandra, as you can see, I am standing next to the Union Square subway station entrance where it looks like it was closed off because of construction. But look up on top of that. That's what's happening on top of the subway station entrance. There's, I can't even count, countless people up on top of there. They're climbing it right now, as you can see. In fact, if you can pan to your left, they're actually on top of the statue here at Union Square. I've actually got a couple of his followers here with me who can kind of explain to us what they were expecting, what happened. Young man, give me your name real quick and tell me why you came out here, what you expected to happen, what did happen.
All right, my name is Dilico Antavius. So basically,
Okay,
it's,
guys,
it's Cenat, Phantom, all of the AMP.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all of them, but they pulled up, do a little meet and greet and a giveaway for the fans.
Giveaway of what was the understanding?
So, from my understanding, PS5s, video game accessories, PCs. But I don't think they will actually give away an actual PC, because how is somebody going to carry that? So I'm pretty sure it's gift cards for them to then go and get the P5 themselves.
Safe to assume that you, along with your friends, came out here thinking that you would get some freebies. Is that correct?
Not that we're thinking, but there's a chance to, because there's so many people and there's only so much you could give.
Has any of that happened? Is he here?
He's here right now, yeah. And they were giving out, but people are being people. There's so many people here. People are pushing around, so you can't really get it organized.
Okay. And before we came on, you were telling me that, in your own words, that some people out here were bugging out. Explain to me what you saw, what you meant by that.
Bugging out, like you can see, there's no excuse, obviously, for what happened, but, stuff like that just happens all the time. People being reckless. It's New York City. Stuff like this happens every day. Well, I wouldn't say every day, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, thank you and be safe. As you can see, Sandra, we've also heard and seen incidents of construction equipment behind me. I'm going to show you one live look, last live look again of what's happening here. Construction equipment being tossed around. We saw smoke. I'm not sure if that was a fire or some kind of smoke bomb. Again, this was all sparked by a Twitch streamer, a social media influencer. He has 20 million followers. He asked them all to come meet him here at Union Square for what was a PlayStation 5 giveaway at 4 o'clock. Apparently, we're also hearing that people showed up only to find out there were no freebies. And as you heard, he is here. At one moment, he was live streaming in a van nearby, but he did step out. As you heard, he's out here greeting his fans. We even observed Chief of Department Madry out here having objects thrown at him. Cops are obviously outnumbered out here.
Stefan, I don't want to interrupt you for one quick second right now, because you're looking at live pictures of a car that was literally covered with people, and we do believe that was the vehicle that had Kai Cenat in it, which you can see now looked as though could have been leaving the area. That is why you're seeing that crowd there chase after.
That's it.
That's the vehicle right there.
And they're on top of it. Why?
Kai Cenat is in right now. As Stefan was saying, he was there. He was in the crowd for a little bit of time, but clearly this was an out-of-control crowd, and no freebies given away, no giveaway whatsoever getting in the car. But clearly you're looking at a very dangerous situation with this car now driving pretty fast with those people clinging on to the side and top of it.
Wow, I did not know it was like that.
It's mind-boggling why they're not stopping to let these people off the car.
Because they do crazy things like that.
Oh, and then someone fell off. Okay, joining us now is Bob Boyce, former NYPD, to talk more about this situation. Bob, can you hear us? It's Liz Cho and Sandra Bookman.
I can, Liz. I can hear you.
Okay, we know you're on the phone. I don't know if you have an opportunity to see what's going on in Union Square, but talk to us a little bit about police procedure. Obviously, this was a situation that police were not expecting. So how is it that they start getting the upper hand in crowd control here?
So they call the level 3 mobilization. That's citywide. So there's going to be cars from every precinct in the city coming there. They have to stage first, and they have to get together. Then they have to, at some point, go in and disperse the crowd. Now, someone should be on a bullhorn right now dispersing this crowd. I don't know if they're doing that yet, but that's usually what happens. Generally speaking, they'll bring it mounted to aid in that effect, and they'll start diffusing the crowd as best they can. It looks like you have an unruly mob right now, and they have to bring order to it. But citywide units are coming. In the meantime, they'll have to do with the best they can with what they have.
How much of a challenge is this for law enforcement? Look, we've seen similar things on the Jersey Shore. Somebody sends out an announcement on social media that there's going to be a party. The next thing you know, you've got 3,000 people on a beach at 11 o'clock at night. This seems like a similar thing. We're giving away freebies in Union Square at 4 o'clock, and the next thing you know, 5,000 to 6,000 people show up. They're not getting the freebies, so they start acting out. How difficult is it for the department to get a handle on this and keep it from turning into a kind of free-for-all?
I wouldn't know.
We've lost Bob Boyce. He is on the phone. We're going to try to reestablish.
That's crazy. He up. Let's see this.
Everybody for themselves. There's a war out there, man.
This morning, a popular Twitch streamer is out on bail in New York City. Investigators say he incited a riot causing chaos. We now know more than 60 people were arrested during this event, and hundreds of people were treated for minor injuries. New York police say Cenat promised his more than 6 million Twitch followers that he would have free PlayStation 5s to give away at this event, but he did not have them and quickly lost control of the crowd. NYPD confirms the crowd was largely made of thousands of underage teenagers. Witnesses say these teens gathered in this area quickly went from riled up to violent.
I saw people fighting around me. I saw two guys pushing. They went down my stop, so I was really scared.
Cenat faces charges of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
Social media influencer Cenat is facing multiple charges. The popular Twitch streamer organized a giveaway in Union Square Park on Friday. Supposed to be PlayStation 5s that they were handing out. Instead, it turned into mayhem when some in the crowd of thousands of people, mostly young people, became violent toward police and people in the area. There were several injuries, and some people even ended up in the hospital. Police arrested about 66 people, dozens of which are underage. Mayor Adams spoke about the chaos and the role parents play in the lives of their kids. Take a listen.
This is not a policing issue. This is a parenting issue. And we need to be clear on that. The police is the response after an incident happened, but there should be a proactive approach.
Well, Cenat was released from police custody over the weekend. He is facing charges of inciting a riot and promoting an unlawful gathering in New York City. But joining us now to explain those charges, Peter Frankel, former prosecuting defense attorney, who always has his finger on the pulse of what is happening here in New York City. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we talked about some of those charges. Well, what is it? Maybe just explain first. Misdemeanor, felony, and most importantly, are these charges going to stick?
Right, so really important to understand. First of all, NYPD files the initial charges. So apparently they've charged riot, incite to riot, unlawful assembly. The district attorney's office is going to review those charges, and they're going to decide what they think is appropriate here. So Mr. Cenat hasn't even seen a judge yet. He's probably going to go see a judge in the next month, and by that time, the district attorney's office will have decided whether or not the charges that NYPD brought are actually the right ones.
Now, we talked to Chief Jeffrey Matry not too long ago, and we just asked about what does it cost from the NYPD having to bring in overtime, bring in so many people to try to control this, the destruction, the damages, all that stuff. And he said they don't even have a number for it yet. So once that comes out, is that more likely to influence the charges and if they stick or not?
You know, I think what's really important here to understand is with respect to these charges, every criminal charge has elements, and these elements have to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. And the common thread with these particular charges that he's charged with is that he had to have intended or just been so recklessly disregard that there would end up being what the statute refers to as tumultuous and violent conduct. And I just don't see it here. I don't see it here. This kid had, you know, a giveaway of PlayStation 5s. And let's not forget.
Honestly, Kai, your intentions were good, but sometimes when your intentions are good, like, people ruin it, you know? So, this is an instant of people ruining it, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I have to probably search up, like, if you had the PS5s, but if you did, or you didn't, or you were having like the gift card, like the gentleman said earlier, like you literally set up like oh, they can use their gift cards for something else, not just a PS5. You don't know like people's situations. It's like, oh, here, gift card to go buy yourself a PS5, right? Or go buy yourself food, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of people will show up. Just saying, you know, or buy something else. You never know. It doesn't have to be food. I'm just being like, okay, PS5 or food? What do I need more to survive? Is a PS5 or a, you know, food? I want to eat.
he's not alone here. He's got a LA-based PR firm that orchestrated this whole thing, and they've done this before, and they didn't think it was a problem. In my view, you know, this is a management problem. His handlers did not make the right call here.
They did not.
As we mentioned, we spoke to Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry a little earlier. He sort of described the melee. I think we have a piece of sound here that we wanted to play for you.
Influencer was arrested, so of course he'll have to deal with the district attorney in the court system. But ultimately, there are a lot of people who had property damage. There were people who were hurt, and I'm sure they'll be looking for restitution in other ways.
And so he's sort of getting at some of the civil side of it here. Could Mr. Cenat be facing some kind of civil lawsuits from maybe people who were in the crowd who feel like they were duped and got sort of caught up in all this?
Could he? Yes, but let's remember, there are allegations that there were professional agitators here. You know, people have to be responsible for their own behavior at some point.
That's crazy.
So it's a bit of a tenuous connection to say that, you know, certainly this wasn't handled properly by Cenat, but to suggest that he's civilly responsible for people bringing M80s and smoke bombs and throwing bottles and damaging cars and things of that nature, you know, will there be lawsuits? Absolutely. Are they going to be successful? That's a completely different story.
You know, you were talking about this PR company
Has the
that was
lawyers
involved there. They did put out a statement. We have it here. It says, "We are deeply disheartened by the outbreak of disorderly conduct that affected innocent people and businesses and do not condone that behavior." That's from the PR company AMP. We apologize to all those impacted. We are fully cooperating with local authorities. That's what they're saying about this. We know that the NYPD is trained, obviously, to handle circumstances. They did catch some criticism, obviously, with the George Floyd protests, how that went down. They were supposed to do this intense training. Maybe this is one of the first high-profile incidents where you might see that training in action. And it appeared there was some restraint shown. What did you make of that part of it?
You know, I have to say, I think, you know, you got to give credit where credit is due. I think the NYPD handled this really, really well. I think this was an explosive situation that, you know, could have gone in a very different direction. So, and I think, you know, to his credit, Eric Adams said some pretty intelligent things about, you know, what's really going on here, what the root problems here are. That being said, that statement put out by that agency, I think, you know, really hits home because they talk about disorderly conduct, and at the end of the day, at least with respect to Cenat, you know, I think that's probably what this is going to end up being, not a criminal conviction, a violation, maybe even a dismissal. I think his behavior was more consistent with disorderly conduct, and there are certain subsections of that violation that may, in fact, apply here.
How do you think the laws will change moving forward when you have streamers or influencers of this magnitude and following, and how that affects city codes?
You can't hear it here.
You know, I have to tell you, I think that's the headline here, because I think one of the reasons that NYPD charged what they did is because a lot of what they do is, whether he's guilty of it or not, they have to send a message, right? And they have to let people know, going forward, this guy's got 20 million followers. You've got to be more responsible with respect to what you're doing, because there are a lot of people relying on what you have to say and what you're tweeting.
And it was so interesting because you can watch him watching the crowd outside on his feed as it's happening. I mean, it's
exactly. So, you know, to Bianca's point, I think they're going to have to take a hard look at this and see how they can regulate it better. Even if this case doesn't end up going anywhere, I think a message has been sent that this sort of behavior is not acceptable.
Well, we got to send a message to the people. Where can they find you at? Because we're still waiting for you to make an Instagram.
I'm here. I'm in Manhattan. You can, how about this? PeterMFrankel.com.
There we go. Making it easy for us.
Thank you.
Peter, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Okay. I want to see Union Square. Let's see the apology video.
He's got 20 million followers on social media, and after an ill-conceived stunt in New York's Union Square, he also has an arrest record. In the aftermath of a riot in advance of a video game giveaway, this influencer is saying he's sorry.
An apology today over that shocking riot that unfolded in New York City. A violent mob took over Union Square after a wildly popular social media influencer, Kai Cenat, urged his fans to show up for a giveaway. We are deeply disheartened by the outbreak of disorderly conduct that affected innocent people and businesses and do not condone that behavior, said a statement from his rep. We apologize to all of those impacted. We are fully cooperating with local authorities. The 21-year-old was detained and later released. He's been charged with inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
It feels so good to be here like that.
You may not have heard of Kai Cenat before, but he has 20 million followers. Last Friday, he announced that he would be giving away PlayStation 5s and gift cards.
Okay, there you go.
We got
Gift card.
a lot of these. We just gonna be handing this out.
In this live stream, he shows off the gift cards just before getting out of the vehicle to a crowd.
So it was gift cards.
Somebody figured out where his SUV is, and that's why we see the people now swarming that SUV.
Authorities say he did not have a permit. There were confrontations with police, even firecrackers going off. More than 65 people were arrested, many of them juveniles. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says that parents must keep a watchful eye on their children. He said it raised an alarm for him.
The first thing I did was text my son and say, "Where are you? Are you in Union Square?"
Last year, Cenat won the streaming equivalent.
You better not be on Union
on
Square,
CBS Morning,
son.
this warning about the influence of streaming stars like Cenat.
His influence over the youth, good or bad, it's something that we have to be concerned with because this is the new generation of how our kids consume their content
How they
and
communicate.
entertainment.
Cenat is due back in court on August 18th.
Kai. Let's see what he has. That's a good. That's the one that we saw. Hopefully things turn out well because obviously things happen. Killers.